Hi, everybody. This is Josh with Smarter Daily, and today I want to cover a topic in meaning and definition explained of intellectual laziness. To be able to properly decipher what is truth and what is not, and to get to that, it is important to understand the stages of truth and how that relates to intellectual laziness. Unfortunately, because there's just so much at so many different angles, it is a topic that we do need to cover. It has a sneaky tendency to sidestep deep thinking and critical engagement with ideas. It often leads to the uncritical acceptance of information, resulting in oversimplified views and lack of understanding of complex issues. But the stages of truth illustrate the journey that ideas typically undergo as they are introduced and accepted into society. Let's cover those steps. One of those is ridicule. It is the first thing. When somebody laughs at you or laughs at an idea, you know where they're at in their stages. Ridicule, so new concepts often face skepticism and mockery. For instance, when the theory of evolution was first proposed, it was met with derision from those who believed in a literal interpretation of creation stories. Opposition. As an idea starts to gain traction, it encounters resistance from established beliefs. A prime example is the theory of relativity, which faced significant pushback from physicists who were deeply invested in classical mechanics. Then comes acceptance. After rigorous scrutiny and validation, an idea can become widely accepted. For example, the concept of mental health has evolved from being stigmatized to being recognized as a crucial aspect of overall well being, despite earlier skepticism. Examples of intellectual laziness in relation to the stages of truth, right? Let's tie those things together. So, in the ridicule stage, when the theory of evolution emerged, many dismissed it as nonsense, clinging to outdated beliefs without bothering to explore the scientific evidence that supported it. This reflects a classical case of intellectual laziness. In the opposition stage, the notion of remote work was often met with skepticism by traditionalists who believed that productivity could only happen in a physical office. This resistance stemmed from a reluctance to engage with the changing dynamics of the modern workforce. Technology has changed the way that we interact with each other and the amount of things that we can do, our productivity, especially in regards to AI and what that is able to do for us. In the acceptance stage, even a mental health awareness has grown. Some individuals still engage in intellectual laziness by oversimplifying the complexities of mental health issues, leading to a superficial understanding of the challenges faced by those affected. The importance of critical thinking in filtering sources. Let's talk a little bit about that. There's another video on critical thinking that I created. If you wanted to check that out, you probably will find it beneficial. To combat intellectual laziness, it's essential to sharpen our critical thinking skills, especially when filtering sources of information. In today's digital age, where information is abundant, the ability to evaluate the credibility of what we consume is crucial. A saying used to go, lie often and lie loudly, and then people believe you. With that in mind, it is very important to understand your sources, and not all sources are created equal. And recognizing that individuals or institutions can be compromised. If you want to know more about compromise and how things can be compromised, there's also a video on that. Or biased. That's a key part of this filtering process. When assessing information, consider the potential biases that may influence the content. Right? Who's paying these people? Who is funding them? Could they be biased? For instance, we'll give you some more examples here. Research can be skewed by the interests of funding bodies or the personal beliefs of the authors. By actively questioning the motives behind the information presented, we can better discern fact from fiction. Moreover, understanding cognitive biases, these sneaky mental shortcuts can distort our judgment. This means not just accepting what aligns with our pre existing beliefs, but challenging ourselves to explore diverse perspectives and evidence. Are you certain enough to be uncertain? Is it possible that you could be wrong? Do you know everything? In summary, fostering a culture of curiosity and critical thinking is essential for overcoming intellectual laziness by diligently filtering sources and recognizing biases. We can engage more deeply with complex ideas and navigate the stages of truth more effectively.